Danhausen.
Danhausen.
You're
You'll be watching.
cursed.
You are
Cursed.
You'll be watching that on TikTok.
Oh, well, yeah. It'll be on my algorithm now.
I know. Mate, if we show Baker that, he'd lose his nut, wouldn't he? I know.
So it's everything he doesn't believe in wrestling.
He's funny, though, isn't
He's a funny guy. What a small man.
I can't wait to get out on golf, though.
I'm looking forward to it, mate. And the weather looks decent for the weekend as well. So I'm looking forward, because I've got a new golf bag as well now for my birthday. I ain't used it
You
yet.
did, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to putting all my clubs in, giving them a bit of a clean, getting out, shanking the first shot.
Yep.
Great, can't wait.
And then talking to yourself saying, what the fuck have I come here for?
Yeah.
What we're wasting
Well,
my own
wasting my own time.
Wasting my own money.
Yeah.
Premium balls, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
The last time I played was Christmas with Baker. And then the time before that, I played once since we went to Leeds in July.
Bloody hell.
So I've played twice in 9 months.
Madness. Are you expecting a bit of a car crash on Sunday or?
I don't know really. I'm just gonna go just to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And not have any expectations at all.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably wise.
yeah. And then I just think if I go and enjoy it and have a laugh, great.
Yeah.
Not bothered. I shoot what I shoot, and then that's it.
Last time I played was Normby, just after Christmas, with Dave and Chris.
Yeah.
Where Chris left halfway through because he was playing shite.
I do want to get out more often, especially with us going away in June for a couple of playing 3 rounds in a couple of days. I do want to try and play a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or even just get down to the driving range a little bit.
Yeah, I think we said a bit earlier off pod, didn't we? That lighter nights now, a bit of twilight.
Yeah.
I think it opens itself up to more opportunity, doesn't it, to play.
I'd
like to think out with me working from home now as well. I'd like to think that a couple of nights a week I can just get in the car at 5.
Yeah.
And at least get 9 in.
I think that's for me on a Friday. I finish at lunchtime.
Yeah.
So I'll just go straight when the weather picks up and just go straight at lunchtime.
That's it. You have to every Friday going to do at least 9.
Exactly. Yeah. Easy,
Get yourself in the river, mate. Definitely.
Yeah. Just gets us
back in the action,
gets
doesn't
us
it?
into it. Yeah.
Right, Bullis.
Yes,
tell us about this pod then. What we're doing in this one.
So
my favourite subject.
You did.
Yeah.
You'd have seen last week we've done a generic football pod. So this week we are delving a little bit deeper into, let's call it what it is, the Liverpool crisis.
It's a major crisis.
So a few weeks back, so the Champions League's gone. We beat Galatasaray. Hey, or we didn't beat Galatasaray. Ooh. whichever one you prefer, whichever one happened. We then played Brighton at the weekend in the early kickoff. More than likely we got beat.
Yeah.
Because we always do it on there. So boo. But what is going on? Because now I saw on Monday Night Football Carragher go into it and say, is it the players? Is it the manager? Is it the system? What is it? I know what I think, but I'm curious to know what you think about it all.
I think the players have lost, whether they ever had it, I don't know. I think they've lost some sort of respect over Slot. I think he's lost some sort of control over the players as well. I don't think he can influence them like a Klopp can, where he almost felt like Klopp was like a headmaster that everyone would respect and do as he wishes. Whereas Slot, you can imagine half of them just go, fuck off. That kind of attitude mentality.
I think a lot of it says it all when you've got someone like Szoboszlai coming out and saying, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
We should be happy with Conference League football. Firstly, it's fucking Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be happy unless we are challenging for the title or, in this case, we are getting Champions League football. And playing like we are, yes, we'll end up in the Conference League, but that's a fucking failure.
Yeah.
And to have that attitude and that mentality, something is not right.
Something's definitely not right. I think we've been unfortunate. We've had players like Van Dijk who's had a bit of a drop off, lost a bit of his pace, lost a bit of his composure. Salah, complete drop off. And I know we talked about that. I know Chris always says that kind of drop off needs to be studied. He's unbelievable.
Would you sell him?
Salah, yeah, 100%. I think he's tired. He's a player that should have gone. I know it's easy to say it now. he should have gone in the summer because now he's going to be remembered for the season where he did fuck all.
Yeah.
Compared to his seasons where he's done unbelievable things.
Almost like what we said about Pep as well.
Yeah, exactly. Similar thing.
Pep's outstaying his time and outstaying his welcome,
Yeah.
and Salah is doing exactly the same. But I mean, the difference is Salah's got nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
In relation to, I mean, Pep can kind of get away with it, but Salah has got nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that he came out and he criticised Slot during the season and criticised the team during the season, was pushing for a move before AFCON, suddenly came back. Don't come back. Just go.
Yeah.
Just go.
I think the club will end up looking for a way for him out this season.
Because he's
to Saudi or whatever.
His contract goes until the end of next season, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So essentially he's got another, 15 months or so left on his deal. And the same with Van Dijk as well.
I'd take 50 mil for him.
From Saudi, yeah.
So anything around that, invest back in the squad. I think we have been unfortunate in certain ways. I know we talked about a bit of a rebuild. Obviously, we've got a lot of new players that are coming. Plus, some players that haven't played in the Premier League, for example, like your Frimpongs and your Verts and your Ekatikes. Obviously, Ekatikes done pretty well this year. We've been unfortunate with the fact that we've just not had Isaac. To be honest with you, I had forgotten we had him.
Yeah, I did.
Do you know what I mean?
I did, yeah.
To the point where I was thinking, oh, fuck, yeah, we've got Isaac that's injured on the injured in the squad.
Yeah.
Kirkes obviously hasn't had the season that he had at Bournemouth.
He's done better, though.
But he's got better over time. So we've had a bit of a transition. I don't think the squad's quite gelled and worked the way it has. We've been playing people out of position like Zobo at right back, who actually is the closest thing to Trent.
I think the right back situation's been
defensive. I think defensive has been worse than attacking. This year.
But I think from a right back perspective, Frimpong got injured, Bradley got injured, Gomez played well, but then got injured. Leone got injured, even though he's not a right back, he got injured. So then you're playing your Szoboszlai right back, Jones right back, Endo right back.
Then he got injured.
Endo came in, looked decent at right back.
Yeah.
Got injured. So then you're thinking, fucking hell, what is it? Some kind of curse?
Yeah.
But I've said this, and I've said it a long time ago, and I will say it again. Slot is very lucky to make the end of the season.
Yeah.
And realistically, the only way that he can pull this back is by winning the Champions League.
Oh, 100%.
That's it.
100%. That's his only out now.
Because just finishing in the Champions League places
is not enough.
Is not enough.
I think you're absolutely right. I think if he somehow escapes this season with a top 4, top 5, whatever you want to call it, and the Champions League, he can start again next year and see where it takes him. I think he'll be given more time. If he walks away with just a top 4, I think there'll be a lot of players, fans asking for him to leave and go.
I think he's gone.
Regardless.
Yeah. Unless he wins the Champions League, he's gone.
Yeah.
And we spent a lot of money in the summer not to add depth, but just to replace.
Yeah.
And I don't think we fully replaced players.
No.
I think some of our recruitment was a bit dodgy, to say the least.
Dodgy in what way?
So if you look at the Klopp team that won the Premier League, and you look at the Slot team that won the Premier League, we had pace, we had power, we had control, and we had pressure when it come to winning the ball back.
Yeah.
So you had Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, obviously Jota was around, but let's say Núñez and Diaz because you can control them too. We sold both of them. Yes, Núñez wasn't good enough, but he still offered more than Cody Gakpo.
Yeah.
He still was a backup. With Isak being injured, Núñez could be on the bench and you can rest Ekitike a bit more. Or play him on the left instead of playing Gakpo on the left.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz was a pressing machine.
I do miss Diaz. Not Diaz. I miss Diaz, but I miss Núñez as well.
I think
I think we underestimated the impact Nunes has on that team.
Diaz wanted to go. Great, nice one. You go for 70 million, Bayern Munich, you're nearly 30 years old, no issue.
Yeah, I
Got no
thought,
issue
thought
with
the
it.
price was good.
Yeah. But if you're going to replace him, you replace him like for like.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you lose a massive part of what made Liverpool win the league.
Because Nunes was a pressing machine as well.
Exactly. Yep.
Might not done well in front of goal, but he would press and put me under pressure.
The thing with Nunes, when because Salah's had a massive drop off, stick Nunes on the right hand side.
Yeah, exactly.
Stick him on the right.
But again, I know you touched on it there. Jota is such a big loss in that team because he was the most. We always used to say he was the most clinical finisher we had. You put him in front of goal, you knew he was hitting the target.
Yep.
And 9 times out of 10, he was hitting the back of the net.
Yep.
He was great in the air.
Yeah.
He was a pressing machine. He had everything.
But that's
and again we haven't replaced that player.
But when you think about it, we've lost 3 forwards.
Yeah, 3 pressing forwards,
and we replaced them with 2.
Yeah,
because Verts is a 10.
Yeah,
he's not forward.
No.
So we've only bought in, and they are the same forward, by the way. Isak and Ekatike. Yeah. They are exactly the same. So you've bought in.
Yeah, it's not like you bought in a winger and a number 9. You bought 2 number 9s.
You've lost 2 number 9s and a winger.
Yeah.
And brought in 2 number 9s and a 10.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
And like you say, it's not depth; it's just replacing.
It's just replacing them.
We're not brought in depth. We've brought in good players in those positions.
Yeah.
But we've not bought depth.
But then, how can you get the best out of Isak? I know he's been injured, right? But how can you get the best out of Isak when you don't play to his strengths?
Yeah.
Look at why he was so good at Newcastle.
People would get down the wing.
People get down the wing. They put balls in the box. Or, I'm not saying we have to play counter-attacking football, but you'd break really quickly.
Yeah.
And he'd counter-attack and he'd finish.
Yeah.
We don't. We get the ball forward and then we check back and then we knock it back and we try and keep control of the ball. No.
Yeah.
That's not how Liverpool play their football. You can go back to when Dalglish was in charge or anyone else was in charge before that. Liverpool Football Club, when they're at their best, is based on pressing, getting in their face and being quick at transitions from going back to front. Slot don't do that.
No, he's too methodical in terms of his approach, isn't he?
Yeah.
Back, sideways.
Yeah.
And then we take far too long for that build-up pressure.
Yeah.
We don't create the chances, and then we get countered.
And it says a lot when he comes out and says, oh yeah, well, teams just play a low block against us. I'm not being funny. What do you want fucking Burnley to do when they come to Anfield? Do you want them to go toe-to-toe and get beat fucking 8-0?
Exactly.
No, you find a way to break them down because that is what is expected.
Yeah.
You don't hear Pep Guardiola come out and say, oh, they're just playing a low block against us. We can't break that down.
And again, not being funny, but people playing low block, just run at them.
Yeah.
Run at them. Put them under pressure.
On.
Put them on the back foot. Take your man on. You might get a penalty. Get some crosses in that box because you might get a deflection off a defender, own goal. But we don't do that. And it's been massive. And like I think we talked about this before. We've got Gakpo on the left, Salah on the right. All they want to do is cut inside and shoot.
Yep.
So
it's so narrow.
Whoever's up top is isolated massively because they're not getting any support or delivery.
No.
That's why you always find Ekatike coming into centre mid to pick up the ball and run because that's where he's at his best as well, where he picks the ball and he drives forward. But he's getting no service, so he's having to come and find it himself.
Yep.
Salah can't take a man on.
No.
He can't even shoot this day and age. Like
he can't do anything.
He can't. He'll cut inside and he'll not hit the target.
No.
Gakpo does hit the target with his shots, but they're never finessed enough to be in the bottom corner or anything like really. And everyone knows what he does now. So we're just so predictable.
Yep.
We've got no cover in the midfield because we've got no legs, like we said. We've got McAllister, who was slow anyway, but he seems to have lost even more pace.
McAllister is now, I don't know if he's burnt out. And
it could be.
And if he's burnt out, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was, if he's burnt out, it's because he's playing week after week after week after week after week. And people say, yeah, he's a professional footballer, that's what he does. Some people can't handle it. And he can't handle it where he's in a physical league. He's playing game after game, Saturday, Wednesday, or Sunday, Tuesday, whenever it is. He can't do 3 games in a week of that high intensity. So he fades away.
I think that's the key. I think he's not a box-to-box midfielder. He's not a runner.
No.
He's a person that gets the ball in the midfield and he makes things happen with his ability.
Do you know what?
And he's having to run more.
He reminds me a bit of if you played him in a 3-man midfield, right, and he sat at the base like Alonso used to do.
Yeah.
He could take the ball and then distribute it.
Yeah.
And then he's done.
He's like a Modric.
Yeah.
Because Modric never had legs.
No.
He was just a bit ability to tight spaces and pass the ball.
But the problem you've got is Gravenberch wants to do the same thing. Gravenberch wants to sit, but he'll turn and then run at players.
Yeah.
McAllister can't run at defenders and can't take them on. So then you're thinking, right, okay, so it's one of those two. Soberslai's got to be your other centre midfielder. Verts has to play because you've paid 115 million for him. So then you're playing a 2-man midfield with Verts in front, which has to happen. Slot's not going to change that. So you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're either relying on Gakpo to do something, which you won't, or Engamoa, who's a young kid, who plays on the right.
But this is what baffles me even more, because you've got a talent like Elliot, and I've talked about this before, who's currently rotting. I don't even know where he is now. Is he still at Villa?
Yeah, he's still at Villa.
Still at Villa. Rotting at Villa. And actually, we could do with a player like him in centre mid to alleviate some pressure on people like McAllister, because actually Elliot used to change games when he came on because he had passion.
If he played,
he ran.
Even if you put him wide right, he's left-footed.
But
right?
he used to come on and replace Salah for a bit, didn't he, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it gives you a different option. It gives you a squad player who's got something about him
and some versatility.
Yeah.
He can play multiple positions. He's passionate. He's a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
He always gave it his all when he came on.
I don't know. That whole move baffled me a little bit. I don't get it.
I don't understand why they didn't drag him back in January and go, look, we're having a bit of a shit time. You're not playing at Villa. Come back in. Be a squad player.
I just don't think Slot liked him.
I just don't get it.
I don't think Slot liked him at all. And look, sometimes that happens with a manager and a player. I get that. But to just push him out the door like that, that don't make sense to me, because I don't think Villa actually wanted him.
No, something's not right in the whole situation.
Villa didn't really want him, and then they tried to send him back to us, and we wanted money from them to send him back. And if he plays more than 10 games for Villa, they have to buy him for 40 million quid. So he's not going to play.
No.
He's just wasted a year.
It's a waste of talent.
Yeah.
And he's played for 2 clubs, hasn't he? So he was the time of going to America for a bit, because it's the only place he could play, because he couldn't go to any other clubs.
Yeah.
So
it's just a waste.
It's just an absolute waste of a talent.
But
and yeah, I don't get it.
I think it's so easy to say, oh, well, we haven't replaced Trent. You never replace Trent.
He's a player you can't do like for like.
You have to find a way to play differently and rely on other players.
And I generally thought Frimpong was the answer. As in,
yeah,
I don't want like say you're not going to get a like for like for Trent. So there's no point thinking about we're going to get a creative right back. But I thought he had the legs, the ability. You know, his time at Leverkusen, he scored goals, he created. It gave us that dynamic in terms of he could go a bit further forward and be that attacking fullback. But I don't think it's quite worked out as we thought. So I did think that was the right move.
There's one thing that I don't. I mean, Frimpong's been injured. He is injury prone, but there's one other thing that I don't like what Slot's done. He's almost trying to push out Andy Robertson. Now, you're bringing Kerkez for a fair bit of money. Fine, no problem with it, because Robertson's getting on and you need left back cover. But give Kerkez time. Again, similar to what Klopp used to do with some of those signings, where Robertson, I don't think really had a kick for the first couple of months, because he had to get into the squad and settle down and all that kind of stuff. Do the same with Kerkez. Don't just throw him in, because you're going from Bournemouth to Liverpool. It's a completely different ball game, and the expectation's different. You are expected to hit the ground running, whereas he hasn't done it. And he struggled.
Yeah, he struggled massively, didn't he?
And he didn't play Robertson he just played Kerkez all the time.
Yeah.
continuously boom, 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 and throwing him in the firing line.
Yeah.
That is such a massive gamble,
Massive.
and it's not paid off.
No, a lot of stuff haven't paid off this year, has it? Unfortunately.
The shit with Canate about basically saying I want Van Dijk money or I'm leaving on a free. Leave on a free.
Yeah.
Don't really
off then.
care. He fell off a cliff because Real Madrid were interested,
And then they stopped.
and then they stopped because he was playing shit.
Yeah.
And so there's so many problems there. Recruitment's a massive problem, and there needs to be a change. But it'll be interesting to see how and where we finish, because if we don't make the Champions League, struggling.
Yeah, massively.
Do you think he goes?
I've got a feeling that he goes in the summer. 100%. I think, like we said before, I think he's always had the grace this year because of him winning the title last year. And I don't think we're that kind of club to make a rash decision mid-season to go, right, fuck off. But I don't see us really winning the Champions League.
I mean,
And I don't think we could walk away with an FA Cup, but that's going to mean nothing to the fans. And there's a real risk that we may not get Champions League football still if we carry on the way we are. So he could, he's got. I think it's time.
the time that we did sack a manager mid-season, it worked pretty well, didn't it?
Which season was that?
When Rodgers got sacked and Klopp came in.
Yeah, but even then, Klopp didn't have the greatest start, did he? But
No, but he had a lot of shit.
But he had a lot of shit to sort out. And I
Yeah.
think what the club did was go, we believe in you, and we'll give you time to sort the shit out.
Yeah, you don't go for a manager like that. And
But
think,
Slot's come in at a different time, hasn't he? He's come into a squad that was actually performing really well. The club was run really well. He's coming in a good moment, and he's almost undone that now because it's where we are now.
He has.
So
And I think when you look back at everything and you look back at the season that he won the league last season, it was very much Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool
it's a
still.
Jurgen Klopp hangover, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Still? That was the thing.
And it was very much that Liverpool team. But one thing with Slot, and it's you can have a squad of 30 players. He still uses the same 15 players every single week.
Yeah.
So if you're playing shit, you're not getting dropped.
Yeah.
And that's the case with Salah. It's the case with Kanate or Van Dijk or Gakpo or McAllister or Alisson, because Alisson's fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Alisson's gone.
And Mamardashvili looks unhappy, doesn't he? Because he's not getting the game time.
Understandably.
So I think we'll struggle to keep him as well.
I mean, so there's a lot of issues there.
Yeah.
A lot of problems. Realistically, there's only one person that takes over, isn't there?
Who's that? He's not going to come back.
I don't want Klopp back.
Oh, who do you think?
Xabi Alonso.
Yeah.
Realistically,
Yeah.
he's the guy that people will say needs to take over.
He's the guy I wanted in the summer before, because I didn't even know who Slot was. I wanted Xabi. I think
it was a weird appointment, wasn't it?
It was a weird appointment. It came out of nowhere. I think Xabi just fits the club.
Yeah, he gets Liverpool, doesn't he?
Gets Liverpool, ex-pro there. I think the fans would buy into it. I think the team would buy into it. You've got Wirtz and Frimpong there now. They would start to tick hopefully underneath him as well.
My problem with Alonso taking over is he was great at Leverkusen and he had a squad of players that worked for him. But, I mean, look, Real Madrid's a fucking poisonous club. And he was very unlucky at Madrid. He got sacked with an 80% win ratio.
Yeah.
So it's just the way that club has it tainted him a little bit. I'd take Alonso.
I would be, if someone said to me, slot out Alonso in, I would say 100%.
Because realistically, there is no one else that I think I would have instead.
No, I agree.
The only other one that I could think of, only other two, and they've both got Premier League experience. Iraola from Bournemouth because his football is probably the closest to like the Jurgen Klopp style.
Yeah.
And the other one is Eddie Howe.
I don't think I could take Eddie Howe. I don't mind Eddie Howe, but again, I think he's too safe. He's too safe and he's too boring for a club like Liverpool. I want someone with a bit of energy,
Bit of personality.
bit of personality. I'm not saying Alonso has got that because again, he's quite reserved.
He's a bit of a fucking hothead though when he wants to be.
Yeah, true. Areola, I could imagine he's got a bit of bite about
Yeah.
him. But yeah, I want someone with a bit of fire. I don't want someone who's coming. I feel, for me, Eddie Howe feels like a Brendan Rodgers or a Roy,
Like a tactician.
Yeah, just someone that's a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but I take Alonso all day. I think we need to make a change. I think everyone's come to the point now where Slot he's lost a bit of credibility, really. Slot over the last few months. I don't like his press conferences either. Really, I think he uses a lot of excuses, a lot of sarcasm, a lot of little jibes at certain things. I just don't think he conducts himself as well as we'd probably want as a manager. So yeah, I'd be happy with a change. I think it's needed.
I think in the summer it's going to happen.
I think so.
I think we need to get Champions League, get to the end of the season, make a change. Although what I do think will happen is, if we get Champions League football, I could see us keeping Slot and giving him another opportunity.
That's the only thing that's going to save him. If we win Champions League, then they'll go, right, you've won the Premier League first year, you've won the Champions League second year. Let's go again and see what happens.
Even if he gets Champions League football for next season,
You think they'll keep him?
I think there's a potential to keep him. Yeah, I don't agree with it, but then they might say, look, with everything that's happened, with the changes, with the transition, they might decide to keep him.
I think if they did decide to keep him, he would have to make a really good start to the season. Otherwise, he could be gone He could be gone by October.
And then you also run the risk of potentially losing the number one target and trying to get someone else in from another club.
Yeah.
At that stage of the season doesn't
Tough,
really work, especially after the World Cup. And that's the big thing that obviously that's coming up. The World Cup plays a massive part 'cause it's more football. Players get more tired, and then you're coming back. I think is the World Cup final the second week in July or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
The season starts 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
So they're not going to have a rest.
Going to be affected, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they're not going to have a rest.
Yeah.
So then it's even more important that we sign the right players, because if we don't, we're not getting anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. My fear at the minute is that we start to go into that sort of bit of obscurity again, where we're not really pushing for anything.
We're just there.
And we're just there. And we really run that risk at the minute if we don't. Like you say, I think it's about being smart in the transfer market, getting a bit of squad depth, getting those players with a bit of grit and a bit of fire, because we've lost that across the pitch now. We're second to the ball. We don't seem to have that oomph to go. People aren't scared to come to Anfield at the minute.
No.
And we need to get that fire back and that grit. So it's really important that happens. And whether Slot stays or goes, that's a decision the board are going to have to make. But you're right, there's limited people out there. If you want Alonso, you get him now. If you don't, you run the risk of having a decision to make later in the season. But the transfer market is the crucial.
If Luis Enrique leaves PSG, you snap him up.
Of course you would.
And
Serial winner.
Yeah, and that's what you want.
They're the types of managers that you would snap up. And I think then you've got to make a decision massively if he became available.
Yeah.
And he might be tempted. He might be tempted because actually, what more can you do at PSG?
Well, nothing.
He's won the Champions League. He's won League One.
He's always going to win it.
Yeah.
There's going to be no team that finishes above PSG in the league.
He won the World Club Cup or whatever it was.
No, they got beat, didn't they?
Oh, Chelsea won.
Chelsea
didn't
won,
they?
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But that's it don't mean anything.
Non-event.
So I think he's done what he needs to do there. So that could be a good shout if he became available, if he was interested. But
anyone besides Arne Slot?
Yeah, it's not just doesn't feel. It feels like such a downgrade from Jurgen, doesn't it?
I think it's
I know anything would have been a downgrade.
I think it's the Unai Emery effect at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Klopp was there for so long, he was impossible to replace. That the next person after him had a massive challenge, and it's probably going to be the person after Slot, you see a bit more of an impact. The same with Arsenal. Wenger left, Emery came in, didn't last. Arteta comes in, been there ever since.
Yeah.
The same with, Man United is a bit of a thing, innit?
But obviously Moyes came in, didn't
Moyes
he?
came in, had a shit time of it, and the expectation level was different. And then they brought in whatever stupid manager it was, Mourinho, Van Gaal, whoever it was. But you always get that, don't you? So we'll see.
Yeah, but a big shake-up. I think it's time for Salah to move on.
Salah needs to move on.
Van Dijk needs to move on.
Van Dijk needs to be phased out a little bit. Keep him for big games.
Yeah.
But he needs to. We need another.
Not to rely on him.
Yeah.
Because he's played every Prem game, hasn't he? Again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Alisson again. I think Alisson we need to start doing that transition of if we're gonna go from Mamadashvili, let's get him in from next season. Let's make him number one, and
give him more game. Give him more game time.
Yeah.
Give him more game time because he's not gonna look more stable if he's not playing regularly.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And that's the same with if we bring in Leone, if we bring in Jeremy Jacquet, if we bring in whoever we bring in, if you don't phase them in properly and you don't allow them to play, then they're gonna make mistakes and they're gonna look shit.
Yeah.
And that's what he should have done with Kerkez, like I said. Phase him in, bed him in, and then easy.
My biggest thing as well is I just hope Isak comes back fit, hungry, clinical.
Was he in training, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
yeah. I just think in game wise, I just hope he's done. I hope he comes back.
I think it'll be after the international break he comes back.
Yeah, because that could be a game changer as well for us.
Yeah,
we get him firing on all cylinders. We get Wirtz linking up with him.
Ekitike on the left, Wirtz behind Isak, and then I don't know.
You could have anyone. Yeah, that'd be class. That you could have Ekitike, Isak, Wirtz.
You could even if you wanted to play Ekitike and Isak up front, Wirtz behind,
That's
and then play like three narrow midfielders.
Then you play Zobo, Maka,
and
Gravenberch, and then you've got Robbo, Frimpong, or Bradley, and then you
Bradley's out for ages, isn't he?
Yeah, and then that's unfortunate for us as well because I like Bradley.
He was good,
but again, he plays 2 or 3 games, then goes out for 6 months,
and that's the problem, innit? You've got injury prone players like that. It's tough.
Well, I think we've dissected Liverpool enough there, don't you?
Yeah, I think so too. Let us know what you think about Liverpool. Yeah. Do you think Slot should go? Slot in, slot out.
Shake it all about. You tell us.
Yeah, yeah. Where does he fit in your slot?
Yay!
Again, same shit. You know what it is. All that down there. Like, subscribe, notification, all that kind of stuff. Let us know your comments. What do you think? And then we'll see you on the next one.
See you soon.